Well, I got involved in October of 2019. My brother-in-law, Jeff Adams, recommended, he's like, well, you should just, it's just some data entry 4 years later. Probably a couple hundred a month, maybe. I mean, I don't know if that much, but a lot. It's not just the names and the dates. It's like, who are they related to, as far as who are their parents, who are their kids, where did they, if they immigrated, where did they come from? If they were in the military, what was their rank and their position in the military? What was their occupation or occupations? Because sometimes there's multiple. That kind of thing, right? So it's a little bit more than just a name and a birth and a death date. So, and Linda would work on finding public records that would support the information and try and expand on that information. And then such as finding, this is, I think, super cool. At first we were going to the obituaries, especially back, they're still pretty flavorful when you think about it. If people write a good obituary, it really paints a picture about that person and their life and what they did, right? And who they were as a character, as a person. I've always been interested in history. When I was in college, I was part of now it's called the Historic Trust for Preservation. And we had a little club in architecture school, and I was part of that. And we did we would volunteer and go do house surveys and make sure the house was still there, because they had a listing of historic properties in Seattle. And I remember doing that as a student, that was a volunteer thing. It wasn't a part of my class or anything. Yeah, and I think that's interesting because there's definitely a lot of new people here. And I think it's really important that our area has a really unique history. I mean, I can't think of another place in Washington State that started as such a big melting pot. I think we have unique stories here and a unique past that I don't think anywhere else in the state of Washington has the melting pot. We had a true melting pot. It's multi-dimensional. There's a lot of depth to it. I think that's one of the reasons I really was attracted to when I got into helping with the Heritage Club, and I thought it was just going to be some data entry thing. But I really got involved because of the people. I really enjoy meeting the people. I think the golden rule for me has always been really strong. It was that was a strong part of my upbringing, is that you always treat people the way that you want to be treated. All you can do is just try and send them some love and smile, and I just try my best to do that. I don't do caffeine because if I do caffeine, I can't sleep at night. So I have to get a good night's sleep consistently, right? No, I just try and live healthy. I try and live as healthy as I can. I'm not perfect. Motorcycling on the back. I mean, I have my own motorcycle, but it's a little one. But I prefer to be on the back because then I don't have to pay attention. I don't have to do anything, right? I can just sit back, enjoy, look around me. Or I could text you. But I have my own snowmobile, and that's different. That's just a way for me to get out in the wintertime and see the beautiful area that we have around here. Well, my motorcycling thing is my husband's deal. That's his passion. Like, he has a lot of different motorcycles. He's ridden motorcycles since he was a kid. And then the snowmobiling, My in-laws bought a cabin the year that we got married. They bought a cabin up by the lake, and that's what you do up at the lake, right? You go snowmobiling. The beauty of blue sky mountains, hard to beat. I'm not an indoor person. Thelma Strayer, Straayer. She was one of the first women to go through the UW's engineering program in the 60s. She graduated in, I think she said she was 64 or 65. And she was in construction. She was a construction manager. Again, kind of a hard, not something that was a very normal thing back in the, and I mean, it's more prevalent now, but it wasn't. And I was at the University of Washington. I was a student. I was going in through the architecture program, and I got a job in the facilities, working with the architects on campus in the facilities office. And then I ended up, and she was one of the construction managers. The third and the fourth year I worked for, and almost the fifth year really, worked in the construction management, and she was one of those people. So she was like my mentor. She kind of showed me the ropes, and then just she was like a mother figure to me also. So she's definitely one of those people. She's tough. Right, and just, I think she also taught me I just have to be myself. She helped me get my job at this company called Nubricon, which is a demolition contractor. That's where I spent most of my construction management career. You know, I'd be on job sites and it would be, I'm the only woman there. And not just the woman, I'm the only young woman. I'm in my 20s, you know, at this time, and there's all these other people. And I just had to carry myself, so I just expected people to treat me the way that I wanted to be treated. You just like, I'm going to respect you, but I want you to respect me at the same time. You're not going to treat me any different. That's another interesting thing about this area, and all the oral history, the interviews that I've been part of, and just meeting all these people who've been here multiple generations. They have that sense of hard work and how hard it was, because the jobs here were hard and dangerous. And coal mining was dangerous, lumbering, logging, railroading, cattle, the ranching, like all that stuff is dangerous jobs, and you have to work your butt off. And in those, you're not sitting behind a desk and working on a computer. Those guys are doing this hard physical manual labor, and it takes brains too. It's the smarts, and I think people underestimated that. But that has been in the education, the value of education. Those are things that I see that are really strong, rooted here, and they are passed along to generations. And I think it's, even if it's not said, it's just done. We don't get to do long trips. Taking a whole week off right now with my husband's, have his own business, that's a long time to take, is a week. When you have a very small business, and it's not like you have a ton of employees to cover people. So that's just been our life, my entire, and when I was working, I didn't get very long vacations either. So I would like to go take some longer vacations. Well, we want to go, our goal has been to ride a motorcycle in all 50 states. And we've got a good one. We got a lot of all the West Coast ones have been covered multiple times, and we've dabbled here and there in the South a little bit lately. In this last couple years, we need to go in the Northeast. We haven't done that too much, and then traveling outside of the United States. And we've gone to Mexico and Canada and stuff, but I'm talking like Europe and probably Australia, New Zealand. Maybe even into the Asian parts, and I don't know. There's so much to see in the whole world.
You know what I mean?
Oh, it's the fresh air, it's the wind in your hair, it's uncomfortable, right? It's not the most comfortable thing all the time. Oh yeah, not to say that our bike's not comfortable, but you know, when you're riding it all day,